told you I could do 10.
Wonderful.
That's what they say. Anger means power.
What?
I was so exhausted yesterday after playing the guitar in the park. But I woke up this morning and just thought about her sleeping in the next room with Todd and that lawyer/wife of his, and I was totally re-energized, ready to take on the world. Well, at least the man.
Be careful, okay?
Okay.
The last thing you need is to put yourself back in Philadelphia General, you know.
I am not going back to the hospital. I've got more important things to do, like getting back a little girl.
And making sure that your aunt doesn't jump on the next plane or train to New York City.
Look, Dorian, I know that you are very, very worried about Mel, but come on, you've got to let it go.
Oh, do I? Tell me, Blair, what am I supposed to do? Just blissfully go on with my business and forget the fact that Mel could be lying passed out drunk on some subway platform? No.
Come on, he could be having a very nice lunch with his daughter, too.
Oh, please. If that were happening, believe me, Mel would be so ecstatic, he couldn't help but call. No message, no word, nothing. He's in trouble.
Good, you don't know that.
He wouldn't miss work today unless something hideous had happened.
What?
Oh, my God!
What?
He had a meeting this morning scheduled with Vicky. Oh, I can't believe this is happening with Vicky.
Hello.
Hello, Vicky. This is Dorian. I know you're having a little tete-a-tete with Mel. I'm sorry to interrupt, but could I speak to him, please?
He's not here, so for once you're not interrupting.
What? Oh, dear. Something awful must have happened to him for him not to have shown up.
I doubt it. Although something awful may very well happen to him when he does show up. You can tell him that should your paths cross.
Yes, I'll pass along that threat. She's going to fire him.
What?
Vicky gave him the job on the proviso that alcohol not interfere with his work. Please. I'm not going to let him lose this job.
Dorian, I think that's what they call enabling here.
Would you stop? Why is it a simple act of compassion is always has to be interpreted as being pathological these days? If Mel loses his job, it's just going to push him further and further along on this downward spiral to oblivion. I'm not going to let that happen. Now, can I trust you not to overexert yourself if I leave?
No, but I'm not sure I trust you, Water, what you're about to do either. It's Kramer Jean, sorry.
Please try to understand.
I will, if you will.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Okay.
It seems to me we've been in this situation before.
You hear me not? Yes.
Does the derailing of this meeting also involve drinking?
It does, indirectly.
Well, then suppose you tell me how, with a direct answer.
The other night I decided to go to New York to attempt a reconnection, or at least have dinner with my daughter, Dorothy.
I recall. And how did that go?
It didn't. I smelled doom in the air and tied one on. I got as far north as the head of my bed.
Oh,
Yeah, well, yesterday, fueled by fear and aspirin, I actually managed to make an unannounced visit to her office.
and did she forgive you?
Very nearly. For a few minutes there, I could almost believe that I was redeeming myself. Then came the fatal error. I mentioned Dorian.
Often a fatal error.
Ultimate betrayal. Of her, of her mother, of everything the Hayes clan was or had. In a sense, I suppose it is betrayal.
Life has to go on.
Does it? If so, how? Anyway, I left the office in search of a bar, and instead I ended up at my father's grave in what must be the quietest part of the Bronx. I stayed there a long time.
Wise move.
A wise man, my father. Look, we made a deal, and if you see this as a booze-related no-show, then I can take the consequences.
You know, Mel, I think there is no one more sympathetic than I am to the problems of parenting and the influences of dead parents. At least you had a father with whom you wished to be in communion. I can't say the same. I'm really sorry that things ended badly with Dorothy.
Thank you. And I don't want things to end badly here. As a matter of fact, I don't want them to end at all.
So after you left your father's grave, did you find a bar?
No.
Have you been drinking this morning?
No.
So go to work.
In 10 minutes.
I beg your pardon?
I just have to run over to that new bakery on Corinth Street and get myself a serious jolt of sugar. Can I get you anything?
No, thank you. I'm saving my calories for Italy.
You're the best. I hope you know that.
Vicky, all I can say is thank God.
I can think of something else to say.
If I hadn't called here and found out that Mel wasn't with you, I never would have gone to his houseboat and found out that he was deathly ill.
Really? This sounds quite serious.
Dire would hardly be an exaggeration. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Perhaps it's wrong of me to intercede on Mel's behalf.
Well, wrong has never stopped you before, Dorian. Why set a precedent?
Vicky, this is nothing to make light of.
Forgive my lack of perception. Wait a minute. What actually happened to Mel?
He ate a bad clam.
Ah, and that explains his absence this morning.
How can you be so cavalier about this, Vicky? I found your star reporter virtually incapacitated, delirious with fever, so dehydrated I had to have him rushed to Landview Hospital for IV treatment.
Well, as it turns out, I'm having lunch with Marty, and after lunch, we'll just go back to the hospital together, and I'll visit him.
No, you can't. Because he won't be there. He will have been discharged. But I will let him know that you are willing to make that gesture. Really, it's very decent of you.
Well, the very least I can do. After all, the poor fellow is suffering.
Yes, it has been hideous, but I do believe that the worst is over. He just needs a little time. Now I better get back to the hospital.
Yes, Dorian, thank you. Thank you. I would not have had an inkling that Mel was in anything but the best of health if you had not stopped by.
Let's just hope he's back on his feet in no time at all.
Oh, hi. You want a bite? It's prune, my favorite.